Hello, I'm Vicki Vale. Multiple Gotham streets remain closed at this hour as the cleanup from the July 4th riots continues. No one who was there will ever forget how a celebration of our nation's independence turned into a night of horror when the rat cult overran our fair city, burning and looting at will. Earlier, I asked Commissioner Gordon what the shell-shocked citizens of Gotham can expect tonight.
The Gotham City Police Department is in full control. Everyone should feel completely safe, day or night.
With all due respect, Commissioner, July 4th saw rioting, an attempt on the life of the district attorney, and Batman himself seemingly involved in the death of a rat leader. How can anyone feel safe after that?
I cannot comment on ongoing investigations, and believe me, all those things are being investigated. What I can tell you is that since the riots, the GCPD and District Attorney Dent's office have been working tirelessly to find and arrest every rat involved in the events of that night. We've sent a large number of offenders to Blackgate prison already, with more being processed as we speak. The perpetrators are behind bars. Gotham can rest easy.
And yet what we found on the roof of the GCPD building could give anyone nightmares. Rat just climbed up here and torched the bat signal. The bat signal! There used to be limits, you know, but if they'll do this, where does it stop? Where, indeed? One can only wonder, is nothing safe in Gotham? And now, a heartwarming story about a cat rescue in the East End that got an anonymous donation of $50,000 cash. While the courthouse remains an active crime scene after the tragic events of July 4th, the office of District Attorney Harvey Dent has not halted preparation for the trial of alleged crime boss Carmine Falcone. Falcone is thus far the highest profile arrest in the joint anti-crime and corruption efforts of Dent, Commissioner Gordon, and unofficially, the Batman.
Come on! Everyone knows that was all Batman!
Speaking of Batman, multiple unconfirmed reports have him being spotted at Blackgate prison last night. Could he have unfinished business with Falcone or the rats? I asked Commissioner Gordon this morning.
Any rumors are exactly that. Rumors. I thought you reported the facts, Ms. Vale.
We addressed the public's concerns, Commissioner, and they're very concerned about this Day of Wrath mentioned in the Rat King's broadcasts.
Look, as far as we can tell, the so-called Day of Wrath is pure fiction. Just something this Rat King uses to stir people up so they'll commit crimes for him.
Those who've heard the recordings tell us the Rat King is very specific. He says it takes place in 4 days.
Apparently, I wasn't direct enough last time, so let me be absolutely clear. The Day of Wrath is bull.
But actions speak louder than words. And while it's a peaceful morning here in Gotham, the GCPD is quietly preparing for the possibility of more violence after nightfall. We'll be right back after this message from Ace Chemicals, creating surprises since 1940. This is Vicki Vale live from Moldoff Avenue. More violence from the rats struck Gotham last night, but thankfully it was not a repeat of July 4th. This time the GCPD was prepared and able to apprehend the offenders before any innocent bystanders were hurt. I spoke to an officer on the scene.
We got him handled. I must have sent 3 truckloads of rats to Blackgate just this morning. These terrorists fold like umbrellas. It's like they want to go to prison.
Excuse me, what the officer meant to say was no comment.
The sudden influx of rats to Blackgate has led to concerns about overcrowding. Chief of Security Bolton addressed them a short time ago.
Absolutely nothing to worry about. I've got this place locked up tight. As always, we've had to double up these rats in a few cells, but we haven't had any problems. I've started an athletics program to help inmates blow off steam in a healthy and productive way. It's been a big hit so far.
And that seems to be a recurring theme. Things are tense, but authorities insist they're in control. With just 3 days until the Rat King's Day of Wrath, is the recent chaos just a blip, or could this be Gotham's horrifying new normal? After weeks of violence, Gotham last night was something it hasn't been in a long time. Quiet. Signs of what's been called the Rat Uprising are visible on every street, but what's not visible on this morning of the foretold Day of Wrath is any sign of the would-be perpetrators themselves. There's no wrath and no rats, and for that matter, no bats. It was all I could do to find Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner, are you any closer to identifying the Rat King? Speculations falling on Black Mask, Julian Day, Oswald Cobblepot.
We don't deal in speculation, Miss Vale. We deal in evidence. And when we have it, you'll know. Because we'll make an arrest.
One more thing. Batman hasn't been seen in Gotham for days. Is he considered missing?
Can confirm that no one's filed a missing persons report on the Batman. Beyond that, no comment.
Wait! You can't just no comment this away, Jim. Something's about to happen. I can feel it. We all can, including you. I see it on your face. People are barely hanging on. Batman's nowhere to be found. Give me something, Jim. Anything, please.
I'm sorry.
And so the question remains unanswered. Where have the rats gone? And where has Batman gone? Perhaps both questions have the same answer. Blackgate. What does this mean for us? Apparently, only time will tell. In closing, on this ominously peaceful morning, I ask you to consider something. With even the city's protectors seeming to share a sense of impending doom, one has to wonder what Gotham has come to, when an end of violence can only mean that things are about to get much, much worse. This is Vicki Vale, live at the GCPD, urging you all to stay safe and take care of each other. This is Vicki Vale recapping today's breaking news. District Attorney Harvey Dent has been brutally attacked at the Solomon Wayne Courthouse. Here's what we know at this hour. It began at a routine competency hearing for an Irving Matches Malone, who unconfirmed reports suggest is an associate of Carmine Falcone. After Malone became violent under questioning by DA Dent, Blackgate psychiatrist Dr. Jonathan Crane approached him to administer a sedative. Malone resisted and grabbed the sedative from Dr. Crane. Then, without remorse, he attacked DA Dent from the stand. Dent was rushed to the emergency room. At this time, we have no updates on his condition. What kind of sedative could cause such a severe reaction? A medical expert we consulted believes Crane was using a nebulizer and said that if the sedative was highly concentrated, it would have acidic properties which could cause severe chemical burns. I'll be standing by to bring you any further information on this horrifying situation as we receive it.
Hello?
Yes, hello. You're on the air.
Hello. I just wanted to say that when we're considering the rhetoric being thrown around, the rats are violent by nature, or vermin.
And you are talking about the people known as the rats, right? Not actual rats.
Yes, of course. What I mean is, we need to be aware of how society has become split, polarized across the whole culture, right?
Okay.
Well, when you consider the rats' anger, inequality, and their distrust of elites, you have to see it runs both ways.
So, what do you suggest?
All I'm saying is, if we're going to escape this paralysis, then They need our understanding, not incarceration.
Thank you for your call. See, from what I understand, it sounds like a lot of these rats actually want to be put behind bars. This is Jack Ryder After Hours. You're on the air. Hello?
Oh, yeah, hello? Oh, yeah, I seen these guys. I saw them at one of their so-called rallies last week.
And what'd you think?
I mean, was it a protest? A riot? There were fights, looting. It was the most appalling thing I've ever seen. What's that line? The only good rat is a dead rat?
I hear that.
They were... Jesus! It was unbelievable. And when I see someone waving one of their signs, I think that they're scum too.
Thanks for your call. Was it a protest or a riot? A question we all need to be asking ourselves. You have a right to speak up, but break that first window and you've crossed a line. And the tragedy is that the rats are only hurting them... What's that? Holy mother of God! You're listening to Jack Ryder After Hours. And who am I? Jack Ryder. But it's not important who I am, because this show is about something bigger than celebrity. Bigger than ratings, bigger than corporate sponsors. This show, these hours after hours, they're about the truth, with a capital T. There's no spin here, folks. No one trying to force-feed you an agenda. Don't get me wrong. You're going to hear callers into the show. They're going to have opinions. Hell, I'm going to have opinions. I might even sound reasonable every once in a while. But don't trust me. In fact, don't trust anybody or anything except the truth. Truth that has made this the most listened to radio show in Gotham history. Because if the truth is a disease, I don't want a cure. And speaking of cures, this show is made possible by the generous support of our sponsor, Dr. Yatz's Wonder Tonic. I drink it. All my friends drink it. Hell, even my enemies drink it. And believe you me, I've made a couple of those in my day. Dr. Yatz's Wonder Tonic. If you see a familiar face with an unfamiliar spring in their step, it's no wonder. It's Dr. Yatz. You're listening to Jack Ryder After Hours. I'm Jack Ryder, broadcasting tonight from an undisclosed location. Apologies to any of our listeners out there who were as traumatized as I was by what happened during last night's broadcast. Let's face it, this is extremely dangerous to our democracy, and facing that truth is what this program is all about. See, I never used to think there was a difference between the public interest and just what interests the public. I changed my mind when some punk threw a flaming brick through my studio window. So, real talk. Who is this Rat King? Some people say he's a folk hero, a Robin Hood for our modern age. But, and let me be clear about this, the Rat King is no hero. A hero defines himself by what he stands for, what he loves. The Rat King defines himself by what he hates. We've all heard it, right? The cops, the courts, the clink. And that's what I hate. These people who go around casting shade without ever shining a light. There's no moral clarity there, folks. There's only rats in masks, creeping through the shadows. And to them I say, watch out. You're not the only ones creeping. Ryder out. What does the Rat King want? It's a question that's on all of our minds. Well, they say, know your enemy. So let's listen to what the Rat King is saying in his own words. Gotham is a sinking ship, right? And the rats will rise. But get this, in the next breath, story changes entirely. Gotham is a laboratory. The Rat King's words, not mine, where they slice into our skin, probing and prodding. What's he even talking about? Alien abduction? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a joke. But we in Gotham know better than anyone how serious a joke can be. You know what's no joke? Dr. Yatz's Wonder Tonic. I am not lying when I tell you, it's made me a better person. Special thanks to the people at Dr. Yatz who helped me set up my new headquarters here in an undisclosed location after the rats vandalized my old studio. You are making a difference. Ryder out. Who is the Rat King? You're listening to Jack Ryder After Hours. I'm your host, Jack Ryder, and tonight we're asking the big questions. Well, one big question. Who the hell is the Rat King? The prophecy states that he will arrive as an inmate. That's from one Otis Flanagan, some kind of spokesperson for the Rat King. But what if he's already here? What if he's someone we already know? The Rat King talks about burning everything down. Well, I know another person who can't stop lighting things on fire. Mr. Garfield Linz, a.k.a. Firefly. If that is you, Firefly, man, get a new hobby. There's another disturbing possibility we are overlooking here, folks, and I don't like upsetting anyone, but I am on the record with a solemn promise to bring you the truth. So, in that light, we should consider the ancient legend of the Rat King, the Rod de Rats, the Rattenkönig. Not a king on a throne, but actual rats, found dead with their tails fused together. Not one individual, but many, all heading in different directions, going nowhere. What if the Rat King is telling the truth when he says he's all of us? But not me, folks. Nope. I remain Jack Ryder, your humble servant, serving you the straight dope from an undisclosed location. Ryder out. Thanks for tuning in. This is Jack Ryder After Hours. I'm Jack Ryder. Once again, broadcasting from my new secret headquarters, made possible by a generous donation from the good folks at Dr. Yats, makers of Dr. Yats's Wonder Tonic. I have a small fortress of empties here, and let me tell you, it's helped me keep things going in more ways than one. See, I've been doing a little digging, following up on leads. It's not that I'm out there looking for trouble, but trouble always seems to find me. And Gotham. I'm talking invasion, folks. The signs and graffiti are everywhere. The barbarians are at the gates. The Blackgates, to be specific. But Jack, I hear you say, a prison's a terrible place to launch an invasion from. Is it? Where were you last Christmas? Have you seen their record-breaking prison break records? All I'm saying is you're not being paranoid if they're all out to get you. Ryder out. Jack Ryder After Hours. You know who I am. I'm Jack Ryder. Some disturbing news, folks. This is hot off the press. Actually, scratch that. No one in their right mind would print this. See, we've all heard by now about the World War II-era boat crashing into the GCPD building. This, Ark that the Rat King was using to carry his rat army to invade the city? Now, thankfully, the invasion didn't happen, but I have eyewitness accounts saying they saw none other than District Attorney Dent, fresh out of the hospital, I might add, leaving the boat. But he wasn't just walking. No, he was running. And from what? The Batman. So, there you have it, folks. My eyes are open, my mind is blown, and yours should be too. Batman was the Rat King this whole time. I give up. If that's how low the bar is, well, I guess we're all superheroes now. Ryder out.
From GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. The stock market's biggest winner this week? TYGER Security. The controversial private military contractor was recently granted control of Gotham City's Blackgate prison, and the sudden influx of new prisoners could result in record profits for the new venture, despite ongoing protests from civil rights groups. In other news, Wayne Tech's acquisition of Cord Electronics is set to finalize this week, with Wayne Tech promising to make elements of Ted Cord's advanced technology available to first responders. Cord himself will be staying on as Executive VP of Applied Sciences, saying he's grateful for the opportunity to continue working on advanced technology and for, quote, "this giant pile of cash I'm getting from Bruce Wayne. That guy is just stupid rich." Cord then asked if his comments were on the record. Yes, they were, Mr. Cord. Yes, they were. From DCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. A night of rioting by the rat cult sent shockwaves through the stock market as many investors abandoned their long-term investment philosophies by selling their shares of Gotham-based companies. Concerns about the impact of violent social unrest on productivity were captured by one investor, who said that he could not risk his life savings on a business when, quote, some maniac in a mouse costume can just burn it down. Shares of Wayne Enterprises have taken the biggest hit, tumbling to a 3-year low. It didn't help that notoriously flaky CEO Bruce Wayne was absent from crucial meetings this week. Meanwhile, GothCorp continues to struggle in the wake of former CEO Ferris Boyle's manslaughter conviction in the death of Nora Freeze. Rumors of a potential buyout from Stag Enterprises might be good for the company, but shareholders should expect a significantly reduced return on their investment. From GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. Shares of Falcone Shipping continue to rise even after an attack on CEO and alleged mobster Carmine Falcone in Blackgate Prison. Acting CEO Alberto Falcone told reporters that, quote, investors know that, like my father, our company is strong enough to bounce back from anything. Despite the elder Falcone's arrest in May, the company is still planning to expand worldwide operations in the next fiscal year. Ace Chemicals is back in the news, and as expected, it's not good. Investors lost their taste for the stock after the parent company of Soda Cola canceled a major product launch. Ace reportedly invested over $1 billion to harvest a rare South American plant to flavor their new Sprinkle Fizz Gold, but test markets have reported what the company will only refer to as, quote, adverse side effects. All things considered, a bad quarter is still better than poisoning your customers, but Ace Chemicals' rivals at Zesty Cola might just be the refreshing change that thirsty investors are craving. From GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. As Gotham braces for more violence by the rat cult, we may have a silver lining for anyone thinking about moving to our fair city. Property prices in Old Gotham have fallen to an unprecedented low after real estate magnate Edward Lawton has backed out of the Bowery Revitalization Project. The move came as a shock, with Lawton refusing to give any reason for his sudden willingness to sell off properties at a loss, claiming only that it was, quote, family business. Controversial investor Warren White has hailed the development as an incredible opportunity, asserting that, quote, property values in Old Gotham are guaranteed to go up. From GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. After a delay that nearly caused a panic for shareholders, Wayne Enterprises has finally completed its acquisition of Cord Industries. CFO Lucius Fox and Ted Cord have... No, I'm on the air right now. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've just been handed some breaking news. District Attorney Harvey Dent has been rushed to Elliott Memorial Hospital following a horrific attack at the Solomon Wayne Courthouse. Witnesses are saying that while Dent was questioning a suspect and known associate of Carmine Falcone on the witness stand, Dent was attacked with... Oh my God. Was attacked with some kind of acid that was thrown into his face. What kind of maniac? I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned to GCR. We will be sharing updates on this breaking story as soon as we get them. From GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone with today's financial headlines. Bruce Wayne has returned from an impromptu vacation, announcing a new direction for the Wayne Foundation. The charitable organization, founded by Bruce's parents, was marred by a scandal in January surrounding their Humanitarian of the Year award. The honor was given to former GothCorp CEO Ferris Boyle on the same night that his part in the death of Nora Freeze was brought to light thanks to involvement from the Batman. All of this caused a notable drop in corporate charitable contributions over the following year. Despite the string of recent tragedies that have left the city reeling, Mr. Wayne said, quote, Gotham and its people are still worth investing in. Wayne Enterprises CFO Lucius Fox said, the company is proud to renew its philanthropic efforts, starting with funding the Foundation's reopening of the Martha Wayne Youth Crisis Centers. Honestly, if this kind of thing happened every time a billionaire went on vacation, I'd be all for it. Signing off from GCR, I'm Rob Touchstone.
Welcome back. This is Vic Sage, as always challenging you to ask the question. Frank from the East End, you're on the air.
Yeah, Vic, what do you make of this Rat King? My wife says he's a terrorist, my son thinks he's some kind of folk hero.
That's all very convenient, isn't it? Your wife sounds scared. Scared people, they buy pepper spray, security cameras, a little something from Jezebel guns, maybe. Good for the economy, right? And your kid? Couple of rat meetups, a little looting. Pretty soon, he's just another anarchist with a rap sheet. Easy to track, easy to control.
You're saying it's all a setup?
I'm saying, why trust a general who won't go into battle with his troops? And who benefits? That's always the question.
Oh, here's the teen wonder himself. Hey, Paulie, come here. Yeah, tell the man why you're so in love with the Rat King.
Vic Sage here, Paul. You've never met the Rat King. You don't know his name. How can you put your trust in someone you know so little about?
As opposed to who? You? Some washed-up reporter who got fired from his last 3 jobs?
Well, Paul, reporting on the people pulling society's strings isn't great for job security. I'm not afraid to ask questions and follow the answers, wherever they lead. My question stands. Why put your trust in the Rat King?
Because he's dead on about the corruption in Gotham. While the politicians are busy running their mouths, he rallies the people to rise up.
And there you have it. You feel voiceless and think he gives you a voice. You feel powerless and think he empowers you. But you'll defend him without question. On my show, we don't do anything without question. Best of luck to you, Paul. You're gonna need it. And we're back on Ask the Question. I'm Vic Sage, continuing a stimulating discussion with our regular caller Lonnie, who, as usual, is bogged down with his crusade against the 1%.
You said it yourself, Vic. The rat attacks are false flag operations. Who benefits from these fools thinking that going to prison is a revolutionary act? Bruce Wayne, Kate Kane, the Elliots, the Cobblepots? The rich. Obviously, one of them's your Rat King.
I'm not saying Gotham's first families are angels. I think my reporting on the secret cabal running Gotham makes that clear. The beach on Founders Island has fewer shells than Wayne Enterprises. Any number of Gotham's power mongers and control freaks could be your Rat King.
Like that new commissioner? Gordon?
Gordon's too much of a masochist. The new guy running Blackgate, though? Pure sadist. And his head shrink, Crane? Same deal. Don't forget, greed's a powerful motivator. Harvey Dent's crusading for a second term, and with Falcone locked up, Tony Zuko's primed to snuff out any small-time leftovers.
Vic, why not list the Gotham phone book while you're at it? This might sound funny coming from me, but not everything is a conspiracy. I mean, you start from solid foundations, but then you take things too far. Like your Gotham Illuminati and their zombie assassins.
No, I never said they were zombies. They were pumped so full of drugs, they kept coming after you shot them. The GCPD's redacted files spell it out, Lonnie. Now, I am done being insulted by some coward with a voice changer. No more questions from you. We're done. Welcome to Ask the Question. I'm Vic Sage. Today we bring you a special interview with Commissioner James Gordon. Not an interview he agreed to, but one he's obligated to give, considering our taxes pay his salary. Here it is, complete and uncut. Commissioner Gordon!
Oh, for the love of... Get away from me, Sage.
You owe the people some answers. Half of Gotham is terrified, and the other half is in prison. Is that your idea of protecting and serving?
No comment, Victor.
That's not a denial.
You think this is how I... You used to be a solid reporter, but I get it.
believing that elaborate conspiracies are behind all the chaos beats facing the truth, that this is just the world we live in. Get help, Vic. Maybe find a healthier line of work. God knows I should.
And with that, he drove off. It's sad. Gordon's a decent man, but the job is eating him alive, probably tearing his family apart. He clings to a system and power dynamic that is rotten to the core because he's also a part of it. He's too afraid to start over, to ask the right questions. Folks, this is Vic Sage with an apology. Ask the Question is starting a little late today. Among other items of interest, my sources tell me Blackgate Prison is a powder keg. Naturally, I can't say more without specifics. So for now, we'll start with a call from a regular in Burnley. Marissa, ask the question.
Hey, Vic. Listen, I'm curious. So what do you think about the multiple sightings of Batman reported at Blackgate?
Great question, Marissa. My guess would be because that's where the rats are. Batman's so-called war on crime isn't as altruistic as people think. He mostly targets criminals that threaten Gotham's elite. On my website, I've provided a detailed breakdown of Batman's fight on behalf of Gotham's aristocracy. They decide his agenda.
Oh, I've seen it. Very incriminating. The links to Bruce Wayne alone are shocking.
Coming from you, that means a lot. It's unfortunate because the ordinary people of this city are in desperate need of a real champion. Someone to address the real problems. Street criminals, sure, but more so the ones pulling their strings. Gotham's corrupt puppet masters.
Yeah, but Vic, isn't that champion you?
Flattering, Marissa, but no. I do my part, but it's not nearly enough. Which is why I've been working on a new venture, though it's too early to talk about that.
Ah, Vic, you tease. Is it related to your one-on-one training sessions with ex-champ Ted Grant?
To borrow a catchphrase from the commissioner himself, no comment.
Okay, if I guessed the answer, would you admit it?
You know that what matters here isn't the answer. It's always been the question.
I'm Alexandra Brackett, reporting live from the streets of Gotham, where tonight's 4th of July celebrations are marred by shocking violence. Police continue to search for the elusive Rat King, an unidentified terrorist leader whose followers have brought our city to the brink of destruction. I'm joined by DA Harvey Dent, taking a moment away from his fundraiser planning for crime prevention. District Attorney Dent, thank you for joining us.
Just Harvey, it's fine.
Mr. Dent, in recent days, we've seen escalating violence across Gotham being committed by a terrorist group calling themselves the Rats. With tonight's July 4th celebrations already dampened by this evolving situation, and the people of Gotham still on the back foot from the events of last Christmas, what does the District Attorney's Office hope to achieve with a crime prevention gala?
Well, I wouldn't call it a gala. My hope, and the hope of my co-sponsor in this, Dr. Leslie Tompkins, is to raise money to bring back the youth crisis centers. I am proudly a product of these centers and the good they do, as is Bruce Wayne.
Given the Rats' unwavering support for the Rat King, do you feel youth crisis centers are sufficient to prevent the sort of criminality that...
Look, the Rat King is an unrepentant terrorist, plain and simple. What I'm saying, and what Dr. Tompkins is saying, is that if we intervene in the lives of young people, and we show them empathy before they start down this road to ruin, then we can, absolutely.
I must apologize, Mr. Dent. We've just gotten word here that moments ago there was a robbery at the Bank of Gotham. It's estimated that several $1 million worth of bonds and personal items have been stolen.
Well, there you have it, right there. The Rats have made their nest. It's too late for them. And when they are apprehended, my office will push for swift and severe sentencing. But for the next generation of Gotham citizen, there is a better path forward. And we intend to light the way.
I'm sure many of the people listening tonight will appreciate that sentiment. Thank you, Mr. Dent. This is Alexandra Brackett for the Gotham Globe, reporting live from the streets of Gotham. We'll be right back with more from the District Attorney after a word from our sponsors. Another night of violence and bloodshed. the death of a terrorist at the hands of an out-of-control vigilante. And if the Rat King's threats are to be believed, we still have an apocalypse to look forward to. This is Alexandra Brackett, reporting live from a city in chaos. I'm Alexandra Brackett, reporting live from the streets of Gotham, which are safe today, thanks to the heroic efforts of District Attorney Harvey Dent. Despite the attempt on his life only hours earlier, D.A. Dent, alongside Batman, stopped the Day of Wrath in its tracks. The DA's now recovering from injuries he sustained in that earlier attack by one Irving Matches Malone, a man who many suspect was, in fact, the Rat King. True or not, Mr. Malone remains at large, but a statement from Batman released by the GCPD assures us the Rat King and his threats have been neutralized.